So they bring a lot of operational expertise, and they're looking to diversify into gold, and they've looked in a lot of continents. They've looked at a lot of companies. They came to Indonesia, did a lot of work on the ground, visited our projects, went through all of the drill core. They're extremely happy with what they saw, and so that's led to the culmination of this agreement.
Hello and welcome back to the Proactive Studio. I'm Tyler Tully, and joining me today is Far East Gold Non-Executive Chairman Justin Werner to talk us through the strategic partnership it's made with Chinese mining company Inner Mongolia Xinyi Silver and Tin Mining Co., which has made a $14 million investment in exchange for a 19.99% stake in Far East Gold. Justin, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate the opportunity to come on your show.
So this is a pretty big agreement that you've made. Before we get into it, the agreement's been made with Hessing Yip Gold, which is the subsidiary of Xinyi. Can you talk us through who are they and how significant is this investment for Far East Gold?
It's very significant. We're delighted to welcome Xinyi as a significant shareholder into Far East Gold. They are China's largest tin miner. Second largest tin miner and the largest silver producer in China. So they bring a lot of operational expertise, and they're looking to diversify into gold, and they've looked in a lot of continents. They've looked at a lot of companies. They came to Indonesia, did a lot of work on the ground, visited our projects, went through all of the drill core. They're extremely happy with what they saw, and so that's led to the culmination of this agreement. So we're obviously delighted. They're a big company with deep pockets and importantly mining experience, and they know how to mine, they know how to execute underground mining. They have a number of underground mining operations, so this is their diversification outside of China, and we're obviously happy that they've identified our portfolio of assets as being high quality and ones that they think together we can develop and bring into production.
So let's get into the details of the investment now. What does this cash injection mean for Far East Gold?
So we just completed a successful raise and SPP where we raised 4 million Australian. This placement will bring an additional 14 million Australian. So it means we're extremely well funded to accelerate the projects that we already have. We have 4 advanced projects in Indonesia. And the mineralization styles and targets there are a mix of porphyry, copper, and gold through to high-grade epithermal. And in the case of Idenburg, which is our latest acquisition, that's actually an orogenic gold deposit. So it allows us to advance those projects on a number of fronts, with a view to getting JORC resources in place and then completing feasibility studies. So it positions us extremely well and means that we won't need to go back to the market for a very long extended period of time, which is always a good thing, because the worst thing you want to be when you're a junior is always come raise. It's not a nice place to be.
Yeah, and Xinyi is not only bringing deep pockets, as you've said, they're also bringing technical expertise in greenfield projects. How does this align with Far East Gold's strategic goals, especially regarding your Idenburg Gold project acquisition?
I think they're particularly excited about Idenburg as we are. The reason being is that it's rare that you would find a project that has this tenor of gold grade and is sitting basically at surface and still very, very relatively underexplored. So, out of 14 prospects, only 3 have been drilled really in any detail. They're open at depth, along strike, with significant high-grade intercepts. The metallurgy that's been done shows that 55% recovery by gravity, up to 95% recovery by carbon in leach. So excellent metallurgy, close to surface, high grade, and in the gold space at the moment, investors are really targeting grade. As it's getting harder and harder to find high grade gold deposits. So, their expertise, their technical team will just help to fast track the development of that project and our other projects.
As we've said, Hessing is going to acquire just under 20% of Far East Gold. You've just touched on this, but can you expand further on how this is set to benefit the company?
So firstly, obviously, it brings a significant injection of capital, but also, the experience that and the workforce that Xingye has in terms of mining engineers, geologists, all of those guys that can come in and assist us to fast track the development of these projects. And having worked with the Chinese in another company, their ability to execute projects and to build and construct is really unrivaled. And so, Xingye brings that same capability as well. So, an ability to bring projects into production on time and at a budget that's extremely competitive if you compare it to other projects in the West.
And I understand you're also holding an investor briefing tomorrow. What can you tell us?
Yep, there will be a investor presentation for Far East Gold or other investors. That is going to be held at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Time tomorrow. So welcome anyone who wants to join, and there will be the opportunity for Q&A. So for anyone who has any questions, I'm delighted to answer any questions people may have.
Obviously, this is a massive milestone for Far East Gold. Justin, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it.